But you see, everything Moses wrote about, in all his writings, Moses never mentioned Satan. If you read Genesis chapter 3, you will not know whom God was speaking to. You just see every snake, seed, snakes, bruise your heel. But he was talking to the devil. And when you read the books, you will not see it. Why? Because the Old Testament does not contain complete information. The Old Testament does not contain complete information. It has never contained complete information about God. It has never contained complete information about angels. It has never contained complete information about Satan. It has never contained complete information about you and about man. And that's where a lot of people get their information from. Many things that the devil did, God was said to have done it. Many things that the devil did, God was said to have done it. Why? Because they didn't know who the devil was. So God was blamed for good and for bad. And you see, Christians too will hold the same information and use it in their daily confession. They will hold the same information. The Old Testament does not contain complete information. Look at Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1. Pay attention. Hebrews chapter 1 verse number 1. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. Verse 2. Hath in this last day spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Hath in these last days. So this scripture makes a distinction between the New Testament and the Old Testament. He says, this was how God spoke, or this was how God revealed himself, or this was how they knew God. Hebrews 1:1. Sundry times, diverse manners, the prophets spoke to the fathers. Hebrews 1:2. This is how God has revealed himself now, hath in these last days. Hebrews 1:2. Spoken unto us by his Son. Two major things you must understand, which shows you the way God was revealed in the Old Testament was definitely different from the way God is revealed in the New Testament. Let me read that Hebrews 1:1 from the Amplified, Classic Amplified. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1 from the Classic Amplified. Put it up for me. Hebrews 1:1 from the Classic Amplified, AMPC. In many separate revelations, each of which set forth a portion of the truth, and in different ways, God spoke of old to our forefathers in and by the prophets. In many separate revelations. So each of the Old Testament revelation only has a portion of the truth, not the whole truth. A portion of the truth. So everything that was spoken in the Old Testament had only a portion of the truth, not the whole truth. And that's the Old Testament. In fact, the J.B. Phillips translation says a partial revelation. So the Old Testament contains a partial revelation of the truth. Now when you say a partial revelation, what you mean is incomplete revelation or incomplete information. And that's why sometimes you feel there is a contradiction. And you will see one time they will say, there is none like you, there is none holy as the Lord. And God will say, there is none like unto me. Then he will say, there is none as holy as the Lord. And all the prophets said it. Then when you come into the New Testament and you read the epistles, 1 John 4:17, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, as he is, so are we in this world. As he is, so are we in this world. All believe